Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mighty Modern. It's time for some more M19 goodies. Clancaller Elves. Elvish Clancaller. Other elves you control get +1/+1. It's a 2 mana, 1/1. Doesn't seem like much. It's a lord. It's a 2 mana lord. But 6 mana, tap it, search your library for a card named Elvish Clancaller, put it on the battlefield. So this does a lot of things in this deck in Modern. It allows the deck to be more aggressive when it needs to beat down. It can. It really helps against combo. Sometimes control sort of thing. We just need to do more damage quicker. It's great for that. Helps the Elves deck a lot. But it also is a threat because 6 mana is not a lot of elves. You have 3 lands, 3 mana dorks, and your board is bad. But all of a sudden you add an Elvish Clancaller, and you can just activate it, and your board gets great. So that's the best way to look at this. It's kind of like a squadron hawk. You can just run your opponent out of resources by adding more and more of itself, and the fact that they work with each other and your entire deck is just a bonus. So other than that, it does kind of change how the deck is. We don't have the combo in here, the infinite mana combo with Devoted Druid. We don't have as many Court of Callings because we're not just this deck that's trying to max out on dirtliness and fun elf shenanigans. We're just trying to kill our opponent. And that's why you see this list as it is. You've got all the 1-drops you expect, but also Nettle Sentinel, card that some elf decks have been cutting. But we run them here because we just want to beat down. Dwynen's Elite, make more elves. Elvish Clancaller, we talked about it. Elvish Archdruid makes mana for your shenanigans. Also another Lord with Clancaller, and just Lord beatdown is a thing now. Azuri's, of course, mana sinking, win the game on the spot, company is courts. But the things that kind of set this one apart are, like I said, no infinite combo. Also Shaman of the Pact. This is huge, and it goes along with the theme of the deck. We want to beat down, and that's great. This hits people from 3 to 6 all the time. It's incredible. It's a great card against decks that want to Cryptic command you and let you have a big board and Cryptic it over and over. You just get them with Shaman of the Pact. You can Court of Company it into play. You can collect Court of Company. You can Court of Calling it into play, collect Company into play. It does it all. And lead Stampede. We just refill. We just keep the beats coming and we refill our hand. That's what this elf deck in particular does. And to be honest, with Elvish Clancaller and how good it is, I think this is the way of the archetype going forward. I'm sure you can still play infinite combo versions, maybe even with something that looks like this, but this is a great place to be in a modern format that has gotten more and more aggressive over the past few years. Lands, as you expect, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Fun of in Westphal Abbey. Sideboard, Damping Sphere, huge in this deck against combo decks, exactly what it needed. Stay in the Mind, I know you forgot this card exists. It's a 5 mana Cranial Extraction, I believe. It has Convoke, though. So as long as you have 1 black mana, you have Elves to tap for this. And you get to name a card, take it out of a player's hand, graveyard, library. It's great. So this deck with Damping Sphere, with Stay in the Minds, is actually much better set up against combo than you might expect. Also, keep in mind, we kill them even faster. All right, so Fracturing Gust where it's relevant. I love this card. High impact sideboard card right here. Obstinate Baloth against Liliana's. Creeping Corrosion for Affinity. Chameleon Colossus for the Death Shadow decks. This card's very good against them. Rex Sages where you need them. Sacred Sanctuary for control. Jun, Mardu, Pyromancer, that sort of thing. And Scavenging News because it's great. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mighty Modern. Have fun watching Clancaller Elves. Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Mighty Modern. Here we go with some more Clancaller Elves, and it looks like we've got an interesting choice here. So we are on the draw. Yeah, I guess this is what we want. This hand could be good. It can make some mana. We need to draw a payoff card besides Azuri. I mean, Azuri is obviously great, but we'll see if we can get to the mana for that first. All right, our opponent leads on Basic Island Opt. Okay. Can only assume some sort of combo deck. They also mulliganed. Our hand could actually play out a whole bunch next turn. So we can lead with Nettle Sentinel. Then play Heritage Druid. Oh, no, we can't because it's one of Westphal Abbey. Correct. Okay. Awkwardly, Westphal Abbey makes colorless mana. It's worth it. It is worth it, trust me, to get Ormondal. It's a very, very nice addition to the deck, but it's a little rough sometimes. All right, so yeah, all I can do is play out 2 of these, or I can just tap out for an Azuri. But you can go ahead and play out all the mana I can. Our opponent is playing some sort of white-blue control-ish deck, huh? That's probably not a great sign for us. Opt number 2. Opt number 2, Art. Okay, well, this is going to be rough. Our opponent's looking like a main deck verdict type deck, and that's not great for us. Ooh, Clankaller's not bad, though. All right, let's lead with the Heritage Druid and see if it works. I would like to always untap this thing. All right, it did work. Okay, so now we have a lot of mana. So let's go ahead and tap these three. Make 3 mana. Play Clan. I should play Heritage Druid. Does it matter? Play Heritage Druid. I'm going to put our whole hand out on the board and see what happens here. All right, so I'm going to get kind of tricky with this, but so, well, no, it's not going to work how I want it to. I guess it doesn't matter. Play Clancaller. All right, let's see if this one resolves. Obviously, if our opponent has Verdict, we scoop, but I think we have to play as if they don't. All right, now I'm going to attack for 3 here. Also, I mean, I held our best card till last with this Azuri. So if our opponent's been disciplined waiting on a counterspell over there, they're going to get me, but that's fine. And we get untap the Sentinel. All right, well, our team is on the board, and if our opponent has nothing here, you remember they did mulligan. They've opted twice. If this isn't Supreme Verdict, oh, it's not. I guess I was wrong. It's not. It's just Wrath of God. Well, fair enough. All right, that's I've seen enough. I've seen enough here. Look, we weren't going to be able to play around that. That's the answer. His matchup seems atrocious for us. All right, lead Stampede seems really good. Definitely cut some mana dorks here. Do we want any of the rest of this, huh? If it's just white-blue, they're more likely to have things we want to Rex Age, but is this good? Protection from black, not so much. Stain the Mind, I mean, I could stain Cryptic Command, I guess. That doesn't seem very great. Guess we'll just give this a shot. I mean, we have cards that are good in the matchup. That hand, the thing about that hand, we were never going to beat that Wrath of God. We just had to play like they didn't have it and set up a turn, you know, we were set up for a turn 4 kill of our own. I mean, for all we know, if we would have been on the play, we would have won that game. So, but there's no, you have to sometimes recognize when you can afford to be defensive, and when you have to go for it. And I'm actually one of the people, when I play real life Magic, which, believe it or not, everybody, is not the same as playing Magic on YouTube while talking. It's very, very, very difficult to make optimal plays when you're recording matches like this. But regardless, when I play real Magic, I actually have a problem of trying to play around too much and playing too conservatively. And one of the things I'm, as a player, trying to work on, and situations like that game, you just have to recognize you just have to go for it. We can't slow roll that hand. We don't have this hand we have, right? With this company and this Clancaller and this Sanctuary. Maybe we could slow roll this hand to play around Wraths. That last hand just had no shot of doing that. We would never have won the game that way. But what we could do is win the game by trying to go for it and hope to catch them off guard. They mulligan. Sometimes they don't have it. All right. So now I have 3 mana here. It is actually really tempting to play Shaper's Sanctuary plus Elvish Clancaller. It's worse, I think, than just playing the Archdruid, though. This hand is awesome, by the way. Although, I mean, I guess we'll see how good this Shaper Sanctuary actually is. It might not be that great. Our opponent might be on, like, all board wipes and not point removal. Okay, yeah. Search for House Content. I guess that's worth a Rex Age. All right, so you can do quite a bit here. Go ahead and lead with this Elvish Mystic. I can play the Clancaller and I can't even attack. It depends if I want a company or not here. What if I play Clancaller and Sanctuary? Kind of like that. I like the idea of attacking for 3 this turn. That or I play Company. The problem is I want Company to reload after a verdict. So what I'm actually going to do, I think, is... So I have access to a lot of mana, but I don't want to play out my whole hand. I think I want to hold back these 2 cards, maybe? Which means maybe I just do this. I could play Sanctuary. I could actually pass it. I could attack for 2, pass the turn, and try to Company in their instep. For what it's worth. All right, here's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to play the Clancaller. I've slightly changed my mind. This gets in for... The thing is, we actually have a ton of damage set up for next turn. So, I like getting in for damage here. They can't Verdict us here. Or Wrath us. If they Wrath us on turn 4, that's when I'll try to, reload with Collected Company to finish them off. But the thing is, we're actually going to get in so much damage here, in theory, before we hit turn 4, that we might just be able to finish them with whatever we get off the Company. That's the line. That's why I'm taking this line. And what do I do with the Clancaller? That's the question. This gets in for 9 right now. I mean, thing is, I have to keep the Archdruid up. I guess I'm just going to attack for 9. It's attack for 9 or attack for 11. Things we're almost certainly going to get Wrathed here. Maybe I should have attacked with the Clancaller. The thing is, if our opponent Wraths us, it's that 2 damage difference, which hopefully doesn't, make or break us. But if they don't Wrath, then we just add a Clancaller to the board. But I guess maybe I'm not sure. I think maybe I should have attacked with it, because I'm not sure what the other Clancaller would have actually, what a second one does here. I don't really know what it beats that it wouldn't have other, that our board didn't already beat. So I actually think that was a mistake. I think I was supposed to attack with the Clancaller there. Knock our opponent down to 6, and then hopefully Company into 2 things that kill them. There is a big difference between Companying them at 8 and them at 6. Although with the Elvish Archdruid to follow it up if we hit land. Alright, either way, let's see what my opponent's up to here. They do have Cryptic Command up also. Wow, they're going to do nothing, huh? So it must be Cryptic. Alright, well, we'll get another Clancaller out. I guess it worked. Alright, here comes Cryptic Command, I'm sure. The thing is, this is actually just going to be truly devastating if my opponent has a Verdict now, because we don't... Our mana was tied up in creatures, and we can't stop that. That would be an unfortunate series of events. Yeah, I definitely should have attacked for 2. The second Clancaller does nothing. Although that might not matter. We may not even get to deal damage to our opponent again, to be honest. They could easily just, wrath the board here. We're essentially, at that point we play Heritage Druid, maybe Archdruid. That would be the plan. Yeah, it's doable, but there's no way they don't have a Wrath here. Okay, just Attention Sphere, huh? Deal. I guess they're going to hit our Archdruid. Wow. We get to draw a card off the Shaper Sanctuary. That's a pretty good one. Oh, it takes both of them. Oh, they get our detention sphere. That's kind of cool. Good for them. We should be able to win here, though. All right. So I want to be able to Shaman of the Pact, so I got to keep one of these black mana available. Thing is, I want to be able to attack for lethal and then Shaman of the Pact the rest of the way. That said, they probably can't counter our Shaman of the Pact regardless, so maybe just attacking for 6 gets it done. The only question is whether or not I'd be playing this Lord, I guess. Yeah, well, I guess the thing is, if I do that, then I don't have the mana to attack. I mean, I attack for lethal at that point. That's not worth it, though, because then we can't cast anything else from our hand. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast Heritage Druid. Then I'm going to add 5 mana to my pool with Archdruid. Then I'm going to cast Collected Company. This does a lot of things. One, we can hit another Lord to still present lethal with these Elvish Mystic and Llanowar Elves attacking. Or, which we did, by the way, or we hit untapped creatures that make more mana. So, I guess I'll take the Heritage Druid here. Don't think it matters too much. I have 1 left, so I can play this. All right, so here's, okay, then they're going to respond with a Path on our Archdruid. I don't think Path on our Archdruid matters. I think we just win now. All right, so we'll go get a land here. Yeah, I think we've got this one. So this comes into play. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And all we have to do is tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tap, get a black, and hit our opponent for 8. All right, that was close. That was actually kind of that was a scary game. I was really unsure for a moment if my opponent had the Wrath on turn 4, if they were going to fire it off, or if they did that. It'd actually be a pretty heads-up play on their part to chain Cryptic into Wrath so that we can't collect a company or Court of Calling in response to it because you've tapped our Archdruid. If that's what it turns out they probably they did that because they didn't have a Wrath. However, if that's what they actually did, that would have been a very heads-up play to make. For anybody at home thinking about that one, by the way. All right, so I'm going to cut a Nettle Sentinel here, and I'm going to cut a. Kind of want to cut a Chord. This deck plays a lot fewer lands than the other Elves decks, and in fact, the version I originally looked at here didn't play any Chords at all. So I think Chord is good in the matchup when you get to do whatever you want, right? When you have plenty of mana every turn, etc. But I don't think it's necessarily the case with us. So is this hand keepable? We're on the draw. It's got a Llanowar Elves in it. That curve, if we hit land, we get an Archdruid. It's got a lot of cards we want. It desperately needs mana, though, and we're only playing an 18-land deck. But I don't think it's going to get much better. I mean, you can take any, Company, Clancaller, Shaman, Azuri, Archdruid out of this hand, and when I'm mulling to 6, and at that point I still have to keep it anyways. So, and it doesn't get every hand's gonna need something, and that was a pretty good one for us. It's not perfect. I mean, an actual green land would have been perfect, but it is pretty good. So keep in mind our opponent here playing this blue-white control deck. They can't bolt our Llanowar Elves like other players can. Which means they then have a harder. They can't bolt our Archdruid, right? They just have to path it, and all of that is much worse for them. So we actually and that's perfect. So in a way that against this blue-white deck that we maybe can't necessarily against other decks, we actually be a lot more greedy with our early mana dorks and our mana development in general. Keeping in mind the Wrath of Gods, of course. All right, so our opponents they're searching for Azcanta. Hopefully we'll either kill them or break up their search expedition before they actually find Azcanta, because, yeah, I've said it before. Once you find Azcanta, the merfolk live there, and we know the merfolk never lose. So once you find Azcanta, you got it. I will use that joke forever because it shows how much I love merfolk. All right, so we have a lot of mana now. Our opponent has 1 counterspell mana open. I'm going to go with a Clancaller here. I'm going to play this hand pretty slow, I think. All right, that resolved. I think I'm going to attack for 3. And if my opponent goes... In fact, one of the best things I think that could happen is my opponent verdicting. Because I can company in response to that. I'm sorry, not in response. I could. That would be a terrible idea. I can float the mana and then company after. I actually think I would enjoy... I think because our board is good, but the problem with our board is we don't really want to commit much else to it. Although Clancaller is good in this circumstance with companies. You just get a pass the turn against this blue-white deck. And if they go for a Cryptic, then you can go get another Clancaller to make your board scarier, and they have to constantly be Crypticing you. Or they verdict, or Wrath of God, or whatever, and you get to punish them anyways. 3 blue and a colorless, huh? That's not Wrath of God mana. Well, they're thinking it through, or they just need to realize that they have to pay their colors. Oh, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Interesting. It's not very good here, though. Wow, they're going to brainstorm. Okay. Wow, this is... And it feels so bad to say this. This is modern. This is Jace. They tapped out for turn 4 Jace, and I'm like, whatever. I'm more scared of the search for Azcanta than I am the Jace. What's wrong with this world? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually fire off one of these companies here, because we could just kill our opponent. Yeah, sort of like that. How much damage do I have? I just have lethal. The fact that I have this Shaman of the Pact to finish it off doesn't even matter. I can play out my whole hand. I'm just going to kill my opponent, but I could. That was... Wow. That's modern. Tap out for Jace, die immediately. I can't believe it. I mean, I guess I can. I kind of actually knew it would be like this. In maybe the 6 months leading up to the Jace unban, I had kind of come to grips with the fact, as somebody who did not want Jace to be legal in Modern, that it wasn't too good. It's not too good for Modern. Now, you know, you can make a bunch of different arguments. Does it make the format better? Does it make for good gameplay when Jace is good? Those are all things you have to consider, but it was clearly not going to be too powerful for the format. But it does make me sad to see the greatest Planeswalker of all time be just, oh, my opponent tapped out from turn 4 for Jace on the play. Great, I win. That's Modern in a nutshell. It's my favorite format, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this week we're trying out some new stuff here from M19. You can't see it yet, but this is Elvish Clancaller Elves, and it's actually a lot. I say a lot. It's different than the elf deck you think you know, right? So this is not necessarily a combo deck. This is a beatdown deck now. We're not trying to go crazy big with infinite mana or any of these things with this deck. We just want to attack people with elves. And Elvish Clancaller from M19 is perfect at doing that. Now this hand right here could be pretty good as well. Yeah, Collected Company is a nice one. No idea what our opponent's up to quite yet. But it doesn't stop me from running out this Elvish Mystic. All right, so this goes even a little further, right? We're only playing a couple Quarter Callings because I wanted to get him in there. Our opponent might be playing Lantern. That'd be interesting. We're playing Lead the Stampede, right? We're definitely going pretty deep into the idea of really trying to maximize the beatdown of the elves here, and Elvish Clancaller makes that possible. So I think I'm just going to go with the Elvish Archdruid here. And of course, you also, Shaman of the Pact is the other thing that really kind of gives that game away, if that makes sense. It gives a lot of damage very quickly, and that's perfect when you're already beating down with Clancaller. So our opponent's going to, they missed a land drop here, so I assume Lantern. Lantern can definitely keep, cheap hands like that. They get a draw with Bobble, so they get 2 draw steps this turn. Inquisition, huh? Well, that's fine. They can have, I assume, our Heritage Druid, but they might instead want the Shaman of the Pact here. Yep, take the Shaman of the Pact. Makes the most sense. They represented actually quite a bit of damage. That said, our opponent needs, if they miss land here and we get to fire off this company, all right, yeah, this seems good for us. Ooh, another Archdruid, okay. So I have a lot of mana to work with right here. What if I started by playing the Archdruid, then playing the Heritage Druid? How much of my hand can I play out this turn? That's the question. I think the answer is a lot. I think if I start with this and then tap this for the Archdruid, I can then add 4 with this. And I think I might be able to play out my whole hand. Let's see. Yep, I most certainly can. Elves is pretty good at that. All right, so there you go. It's turn through. We've emptied our hand. We have a lot of power on the board. And our opponent just scoops. We were going to get just for reference, we were going to get a Dwynen's Elite and a Shaman of the Pact there. And that we would have stacked the triggers so that we would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We would have done 8 with our Shaman of the Pact, and then just had like 25 damage on board. So there you go. That is Elves. I mean, that's this version of Elves, right? The Shaman of the Pact specific. As you can see here, Elvish Clancaller, pretty sweet. 2 mana Lord, sure, nothing incredible on the face of it, but this is a deck that makes plenty of mana. We can go get them all out of the deck. So, all right, I'm putting my opponent on Lantern here, which could be correct, could be not, but we've got a Fracturing Gust and Creeping Corrosion, so I guess and these Rex Sages, so we're actually in an okay spot here. I think I might even want all of this. Stay in the Mind, I love this sideboard card right here. I think it's okay. Our opponent's on some sort of Tezzerator deck. I'm not sure which, obviously, but I will just be naming War of Invention. All right, so in this matchup, we don't need to lead the Stampedes, that's for sure. We can probably cut these Nettle Sentinels, kind of help us combo, but for what I understand, and I'm not an Elves expert by any means, but some Elves players have already been cutting the Nettle Sentinels just in general. I don't think we want leads. I mean, lead does have the ability to get us a Rex Sage, but we have a lot of ways to do that anyways. I don't think Damping Sphere is very good if it's a Tezzerator deck. It's certainly not bad, but I don't think it's exactly where we want to be here. We probably cut a Mana Dork, I guess. We need to make one more cut here. I brought in the Scavenging Ooze to try to hit their graveyard. It might not be that relevant. Maybe we just want to kill them before they get to looping things in their graveyard. Oh, this looks like a keep. It's actually got the potential to be pretty nice here, even off of just the one land, because we can go. Also, I could be completely wrong about what they're playing. They could be playing Grixis Death Shadow or something. Like I put them on Lantern because they showed us a Bobble and a land and an Inquisition. I don't know. But this hand can actually be pretty nice. We get to play the Heritage Druid here. Then we get to play Dwynen's Elite next and make 3 mana and play the Archdruid and then untap for a massive turn. Now, like I said, if I misboarded here, well, that's certainly the advantage of scooping without giving too much away. And Godless Shrine looks like maybe I did. That's it's kind of rough. I mean, fortunately, Reclamation Sage should be, pretty good regardless, but all right, hopefully we hit land. Oh no, Collective Brutality. Well, this way our Elvish Mystic is safe at least. I did that hoping to hit land for the highest upside. You know, giving away 2 draws to do it, but that's okay. I'll just play out our mana here now. In fact, this works out a little better since we got Collective Brutality. By the way, it is not at all what I thought it was, and now that's pretty bad for us. So, Lingering Souls was discarded. So it's Esper. Control, maybe? With Mishra's Bauble? I don't know. It certainly threw me off. I ported horrendously with that in mind. We have a lot of very bad cards in the matchup now. Creeping Corrosion. At least Right Sages we might get somewhere, but Creeping Corrosions and Fracturing Gusts, they're not going to look too good here. That said, we're going to have way more gas than our opponent if we can just find some lands here. Fortunately, our deck, I mean, there's only 17 more lands in our deck. It's a low land count deck, but we have so many virtual, you know, we have so many mana sources once you start cutting on the Mana Dork set. Trying to keep us off mana might work out for him, but it might not. Tasiger's pretty good, though. Tasiger without a graveyard, a little less good. I was right, it is a Mox. It's a Mox deck. Just not Mox Opal, it's Mox Amber. Wow, that was pretty sick, actually. Alright, now we actually have to hit land. Oh no, we didn't do it. Well, okay, fair enough. We've had 3 of our 1-drops killed, and we didn't hit a land. And our opponent is living the dream over there with Mox Amber and Tasiger. So it's actually kind of terrifying. I mean, we're probably dead here. See if we can get some more information about what they're playing. The no-value Dwynen's Elite does not feel good. We can kill the Mox Amber with the Rex Sage, though. The biggest problem for us is that my opponent's probably just going to be trying to loop this this Fatal Push with this Tasiger ability here, and it's going to be very, very difficult for us to climb up out of that hole. Oh, good. I just give him another Mox Amber. I say good. It's never good for you when your opponent starts activating Tasiger, but at least we gave him a do-nothing there. Alright, not blocking. Well, it depends how good our opponent's hand is, because, you know, like I said, if another land here would be really nice. But we get to start trying to climb back into the game if they don't have too much. Casting Lingering Souls is pretty good. Oh, wow, and they're going to get value out of the extra Mox Amber? Yeah. Well, Tasiger was beatable. Lingering Souls, a lot less beatable. I'm going to go ahead and play out my mana because I don't see any way to win the game unless we are able to just make quite a few. We're going to have to make a lot of mana somehow here. And it's going to happen on the turn we're at 4 life. And we need to somehow flip this thing. So we have to hope that we basically hit land, get to play Archdruid next turn when we're at 8. And then, which means I have to block this thing. Yeah, we're pretty much just dead here. We missed for too many turns on land. Our opponent had a pretty good hand, too. Double removal spell plus Task. Oh, yeah, we're just dead. Alright, don't have any outs to that. But now we get a board a little better here. Alright, now we know what we're up against. And I believe I want Chameleon Claw. I do not want Fracturing Gusts in here. I don't really want Stain the Mind. I don't want Creeping Corrosion. Alright, we just got to undo everything we did here. Alright, I do want some of these. I want Shaper's Sanctuary after all those Fatal Pushes for sure. I like Chameleon Colossus. I don't think we want Rex Sages. Maybe I can keep one in here. I want my Mystic back. I actually want the Lead to Stampedes back too. Kind of going back to step 0 here, but I think it might be correct. The question left, I think, let's see here, is whether or not we want any of the Nettle Sentinels back. Like, is Nettle Sentinel better than a Rex Sage? It might get to hose a Mox Amber and or anything else they might play. I mean, I clearly have no idea what we're up against. Now we're on the play. Nettle Sentinel, certainly very good. Not convinced that we obviously want Shaper Sanctuary. We want the Colossus. We want the Rex. I think I want one over the Rex Sage here. I like Rex Sage, but we need, since we're playing, sort of the idea I think here is that we're playing the lead Stampedes and the Nettle Sentinels help us get out on the board, force them to use removal. It might work very well with Shaper Sanctuary, and then we can reload. I think that's better than going slow. Wow, this hand is not what we want. This hand is a little better. It's not great. Our opponent kept 7, huh? I'm going to be honest, another 3-drop's actually not what I want here. I'm going to bottom that. What I want desperately is to hit a 1 or 2 drop here. Here comes Inquisition, I'm sure. Yeah, Fortunately, we have 3 lands and a Collected Company, because I can already tell. We mulliganed our opponent's Inquisitioning us. We didn't have a 1-drop. This Collected Company is going to be our path into this one. This one's going to be grindy. If we have a shot, it's going to be grindy. We might not even have an opportunity. All right, so they're looking at the top card of our library. Hey, look at that. Do I just run it out? Kind of think I do. Like I said, our opponent's playing a control deck. We just want to play things that force them to interact with us, and then hope to reload with this Collected Company. Now, Dwynen's Elite for no value. It's just a Grizzly Bear. Feels pretty bad, but I actually just don't know that we had a better choice there. Because our opponent has a Tassiger or whatever here. And they just never don't have the turn 2 Tassiger. All right. Well, it could be a turn 2 Gurmag Angler. Might even be better for us if it's a Gurmag Angler. All right, it's Tassiger. All right, well, that's not the worst. We now have the mana we need to cast a Collected Company next turn, which is good because it's the only possible way we're going to win this game. Collected Company, we have some nice hits off of it here. Azuri's also a bit of a problem for them. Not that we can really do anything with it now, and they're going to know as soon as we play our 4th land that we're just going to Company anyways, but it's very good. Our opponent needs, if their removal's Fatal Push, they need Revolt to actually be able to shoot it with a Fatal Push. And if they're pathing it, that works, I guess, so we get a land out of it. Wow. Like I said, you need Revolt to make that one work. All right, we caught a bit of a break there. Yeah, it's Magic Online. I don't know what to say. It happens. I've certainly done it myself. Now they're going to path it. Sure. And we drew a land, huh? That is not what we wanted. All right, well, we get to attack, and I'm just going to go ahead and main phase this. My opponent, if they were playing Wraths and played their Tasker into it, they got me, but I want to be able to hit some Lords here like that. I think I want Clancaller. Yeah, we have 6 mana. This is where Clancaller would be great. I think I want Clancaller and Azuri. That or I get Clancaller and Archdruid and just try to make the team very big. Could that be better than Azuri? I don't really even... I like the idea of protecting myself, but they're going to untap and have it immediately. I think I just want to beat down here. And this certainly beats down. We get in for 4 with this. Like I said, that Dwynen's Elite on turn 2 didn't look like much, but it gets in for 4 here. Yeah, now our opponent, the thing for us is if they are able to just get rid of the Clancaller, then we're in a much worse position. But Jace Vryn's Prodigy doesn't do that quite yet. All right. Look at that. Well, I don't want to. I'm just going to pass. Well, actually, this makes mana, so I can even get away with playing the Shaman of the Pack here. I'll let the trigger go on the stack and then activate Clancaller. Yeah, I'm just playing it at sorcery speed here, but I actually think it's okay. Our opponent loses a lot from that. And the way that they did nothing there tells me that this is likely going to get through this Dwynen's Elite hit. Now, we are certainly sort of all in on our opponent not having Supreme Verdict over there, but you know what? If they played Tassiger into Jace into Supreme Verdict, they got me. Otherwise, look at that. We just did a ton of damage to our opponent. All right, I think it's time to swing. Swing with the team, use this Clancaller to go fetch up another Clancaller. Like I said, everybody, it's so good in this deck. It's awesome. It enables these beatdown plans where before Elves had a lot of trouble against these one-for-one removal type strategies because they could just kind of grind you out of cards. And yeah, sometimes Lead the Stampede and Collected Company would get there, but sometimes they would just hit a bunch of Elvish Mystics or whatever, right? But now, with Clancallers, all it takes is one of them to stick, and you can make things a nightmare for your opponent. All right, so our opponent's going to loot here with Jace. If they find a way to survive this, more power to them. It's going to be difficult. They don't even get to transform Jace here, and there we go. We got there, everybody. All right. Clancaller Elves, Elvish Clancaller, the star of that match right there. Despite we'll forget game 2, where we boarded entirely wrong. But Clancaller came through there in the third game to hand it to us, everybody. Clancaller Elves. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mighty Modern. I believe you will all be watching this. I'm recording ahead of time here, but you'll be watching this the week I'm at the Pro Tour. So you can look for me in the background of coverage at Pro Tour 25th anniversary. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is a keep here with Elves. You know, I played Elves, and this actually surprised me. I guess I've been doing this series for a long time now. I played Elves 2 years ago. July of 2 years ago for the first time. And you know what? We've got some new toys since then. Elvish Clancaller is a pretty awesome one. Now, our opponent is thought seizing us here. I'm going to assume they take the Ezuri or the Company. It kind of depends on the rest of their hand. They took the Ezuri. Okay. Oh, Clancaller. Now, this is setting up for a nice turn next turn. We're going to go Clancaller plus Sentinel. Or more likely Dwynen's Elite plus Sentinel, I guess. Yeah, Clancaller is just very good for this deck. What it is it's an elf that by itself is not impressive, right? I mean, but it'll pump the team. So it makes your opponent deal with it, right? But also more than that, it's not like they can just kill all your other creatures and leave you with a Clancaller, because it brings its own army. 6 mana, not an issue in Elves most of the time. You can just start chaining these, and now all those decks that want to 1-for-1 you, it's kind of like Squadron Hawk back in the day. You can just overwhelm removal, and it kind of doesn't matter how puny your creatures are if your opponent can't answer them. And these, while yes, by themselves they're pretty weak, they are not once it gets going. You get multiple onto the field, play them alongside your Dwynen's Elite, stuff like that. Card is really, really good. And it's actually perfect for Elves in this metagame where, you know, sort of the format with, well, that's pretty good. There goes our Company. In this format right now, it's gotten a lot faster. You know, Humans is just this incredibly disruptive deck. Plus, it does damage. You know, Hollow One. The format is a lot faster than it used to be. So, sort of the more third league, eventually going to overrun you with Ezuri Elves lists. Maybe not as good anymore, but Clancaller ups the power right away, which is very, very nice. Now, in this circumstance, I guess I just play. It doesn't. I don't really have any good options here. I guess I'm just going to play the Clancaller. It's the most mana efficient thing to do. It obviously doesn't do anything for us right now, but given that our opponent has Collective Brutality to us, this game does not seem... I don't know if my opponent's on Mardu Pyromancer or what here. Yep. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a game that we win by rushing them. We're going to have to try to grind them out here. Unfortunately, they seem to be out of 1 mana removal. Maybe. They look... All right. I guess I even... what can my opponent have? I won't attack. I considered an attack there. I would assume that if our opponent had removal, they would have used it there. But it's possible they have something else I'm not thinking about that would have made a token. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the 1 damage. They obviously weren't going to trade the Pyromancer, but... Oh, gosh. Alright, Clancaller is down, and we discard a card. Guess I'm going to discard. I'm going to discard Archdruid. It feels pretty bad, but we've already run through one Azuri. Our opponent's onto one card here. All right, we hit land. That's good. Looks like I can attack with this Dwynen's Elite. I don't know about this game. We're going to need our opponent to miss on a couple draw steps. The Thoughtseize Brutality Kolaghan's Command. They made us discard 3 cards from our hand this game. That's pretty good. Yeah, and not to mention the Brutality also killed a creature. They've answered a lot of the things we've done. But this is the kind of matchup, in theory, where Clancaller, I don't know if shine is the right word, but it's pretty useful. So we'll see. All right, it is Mardu Pyromancer. Let's see what our opponent's working with over there. There could be a lot of things and could be a lot of scary things for us. But with Azuri on the field, we have a bit of a threat. We also have a lot of bad top decks, but we've got some good ones too. Lead the Stampede, by the way, is in the deck exactly for this. Unfortunately for us, our opponent's last card was the best possible card they could have. So that's pretty rough. Yeah, I guess... Well, yeah, I guess I just run the Shaman of the Pack out there. Get our opponent for 4. We got him down to 7. I don't think we're going to win. Our opponent having, killing one of our creatures and taking 4 cards out of our hand and then being able to tap out perfectly for Bedlam Reveler that's pretty much the dream when you play Mardu Pyromancer. So we'll see what we're able to do here, but I don't have high hopes. And that's why I played the Shaman of the Pack over the Nettle Sentinel, because Nettle Sentinel plus Azuri to regenerate, sure, that sounds fine, but our opponent was obviously going to kill this no matter what, so we needed to get in damage from this, because the paths we have to winning at this point involve direct damage. Oh my gosh. In fact, it basically means we need to go like Land Company and a double Shaman of the Pack or something. Our opponent's just living the dream. If your dream involves a bunch of 1/1 tokens. I'm living part of the dream. Opponent has a larger share of the dream. All right, well, we'll take 5 here. Opponent's back down to 1 card at least, so maybe we can top deck our way out of it. Well, that certainly doesn't look good, but it's better than it looks because it turns on all of our collected companies now, the other 3 that we have. Our opening hand was so good in this Mardu deck, just had a great draw and just dismantled it, and unfortunately now we have to... we have to play sideboard, try to win 2 sideboarding games against the deck, bringing in a lot more removal. And Mardu Pyromancer is maybe the best deck in the format at punishing the type of strategy we're playing. It's close. I mean, some of the hardcore blue-white lists are similar, obviously. All right, well, we'll take a couple blocks here. Taking 7 damage this turn, going to 8. I mean, our opponent, we are going to have a chance to draw something here. Maybe. We might just be dead next turn. In fact, we're probably just dead next turn when they swing out. So, all right, well, we got this turn to hit Collecting Company and get lucky. Heritage Druid, not going to do it. All right, so if we block here, sure, I'll play it, but we're dead. Our opponent's just going to turn the team sideways. We did have Outso. Collecting Company there would have done it. Well, I say that. Collecting Company and the double Shaman of the Pack would have done it. The point is, we had some chances. I assume they turn everything sideways and we die. I guess I can block with 2 of these things. I can lose 2 creatures and still be able to company into double Shaman to deal 4 twice next turn. Deal 8. I think that's our only shot here is for them to make a bad attack. Oh, that's pretty good. They didn't need to do any of this. All they had to do was turn it sideways. But hey, if you can still have all these, why not? was a great hand for them. Honestly, our hand was good too, but not against this deck. It's made to beat decks like ours. All right, so maybe they get greedy and they just swing with... No, we're just dead. All right. All right, on to the sideboarding. What do we got here? Shaper Sanctuary, yes, please. What don't we need? We can probably cut a Nettle Sentinel here. Scavenging News we definitely want. Chameleon Colossus, I believe I want. I think this looks mostly fine. Yeah, I think this is good. I don't want Damping Spheres, I don't think. I don't want Rex Sages. You know, Baloth is tempting, but I don't think we need it. The rest of that doesn't do anything. Chameleon Colossus could be pretty good here. I mean, protection from black is medium, but... Well, this hand is incredibly risky, but I think I'm supposed to keep it. Double Clancaller is kind of nice. If our opponent doesn't have a removal spell, which, to be fair, is unlikely, but we'll see. We could also hit land off the top, play Heritage Druid plus Dwynen's Elite. That would actually be what I would love to do. All right. So this is fine as long as we hit land here. All right. Obviously did not. Might be a short match. It's too bad because our hand is actually pretty good if we just had the ability to have 2 mana. All right. Well, there goes our company. I mean, I say that we're in trouble here. Depending what our opponent does here, we're actually still live to hit a land, play Dwynen's Elite, make 3 mana, play Archdruid, turn after that, play, you know, double Clancaller. That is not a bad turn. Not a bad sequence of events. I actually took the Archdruid because of that. We have to hit land, though. Well, not a land, but I guess it's the next best thing. Leaving us company was risky, I would say. I mean, they're probably just following it up with another Thoughtseize here, but I understand, obviously, why they took the Archdruid. What that tells me is that they don't have a lot more removal in their deck, or that the removal is Fatal Push only, as you can see. Because they obviously, by the way, they're on 1 land. They obviously didn't have a way to deal with the Archdruid there. So, that said, looks like we actually got a little bit of a break anyways. We hit a land. You know what? This might work out. Obviously, we're playing on our opponent being mana screwed here, but hey, they chose to keep the hand. I've certainly done it to my... We were on 1 land too, forever. If they miss this turn, though, we're actually starting to have quite a bit out there. They have a Bolt. I have another one where that came from. Or I can play Collect Company. Our opponent will just give it to us. Yeah, they were not going to win that game, missing those land drops like that. I was going to draw Druid and Clan, so I probably actually would have played Clancaller there. Yeah, I probably would have played Clancaller along with the Druid. Or at least Clancaller. Anyways, on to game 3. My point is I don't think I would have pulled the trigger on Company that turn. I wouldn't have wanted to main phase it if I didn't have to, and we were going to have mana, so the Clancaller would have been pretty good. That said, this hand looks pretty nice as well. We'll see how much our opponent destroys it, but having a second land is a good start. Double Shaman in the Pact, also not bad. Alright, I've never not been Thoughtseized in this match. No, our opponent runs a million discard effects. I'm not surprised they have them. So they have an interesting choice here. Do they want to take Shaper Sanctuary or Company? Yeah, they took Shaper Sanctuary. I think that's the correct decision. Well, there you go. It certainly feels good when the best play for your opponent is to Thoughtseize something out of your hand that isn't Collected Company. But I think they absolutely needed to do it because otherwise all of their removal would just be drawing us a million cards and we would easily outcard them. That said, I think this game I just run everything out there and we just try to beat them down and hope to hit one more land drop for this Collected Company. Playing Dwynen's Elite as a Grizzly Bear feels terrible. All right, well, we're one Shaman down. That's fine. Collected Company is the most important card in our hand. And if we get to keep that, I'll be okay. Assuming we ever get mana to cast it, but... Hey, look at that. That's also... The thing is, that's part of the reason I am playing out my creature, like why I played the Dwynen's Elite here, is because we want to just put as much pressure on our opponent as possible. Which we are doing a little bit here. This is not a bad board. It even matches up okay against Lingering Souls. But by putting pressure on our opponent like this and just running it out, not trying to get value later, because it is a consideration. I mean, this token represents a fair amount of damage with these Shaman of the Pacts, but knowing that we have Collected Company to at least hopefully fill back up on means that just getting everything we can onto the board is a good call. Now let's see if we get Thoughtseized again or not. Wow, they're going to double terminate, huh? Okay. Our opponent's down to one card. A land here would be so good. A land would just be perfect. Yeah, that's an interesting draw. I think I play the Shaman of the Pack. And that was the other thing about just spamming all of our creatures onto the board, is it means that if we're pressuring our opponent's life total, even if it's just with a 2/2 or now a 3/2, if they have to spend their limited removal to deal with that, it makes any actual mana dorks we draw better because our opponent knows we have Collected Company. So when we play this, they know what we're trying to do. But if they have to spend their removal on dealing with actual cards like our Shaman of the Pack, then they're not using it to keep us off mana. Now this is big. Whatever their last card is going to go a long way here. And it was the best card. It always is. All right. That's really unfortunate. We were right on the cusp. If we hit land here, we're still in it. Well, we did not. Bedlam Reveler is just so good. Now, the problem for us now is our opponent's drawn a lot more cards. They have 2 cards in hand. If one of them, say, Collective Brutality or Thoughtseize, we basically lose all chance of winning the game. Other stuff we can probably beat. Oh, gosh. Actual perfects. Yeah, it's too bad. This was a very, very close match. Like, imagine we just hit our land last turn. We could have just won. Rabblemaster, huh? That seems pretty good. Yeah. Man. Our opponent... Games 1 and 3. That's why this deck is so good. It always feels like they just have perfect cards because the deck is just so smooth. I mean, for all we know, there were a whole bunch of different ways our opponent could have sequenced that. But they sequenced them in a way that made it look like they just had the perfect cards all the time, which maybe they did, but that's what the deck does. I mean, for all we know, this was riding in their opening hand. Well, our opponent's going to trade off Rabblemaster here, huh? Okay. I can get behind that. So our opponent is top. We're both top decking. They have an amount of damage that we could theoretically deal with if they miss for a few turns. Unfortunately, our opponent has never done that either, and I am willing to call Kolaghan's Command the actual perfect card in that situation. All right, that one ended the game. That's too bad. It wasn't even going to be great for them to attack us, because we'd get a crack back for at least, a couple points. Or we'd be able to cast whatever we drew. And Kolaghan's Command was pretty nuts there. All right, that'll do it. I can play this, but I still die. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. That's too bad. Those were very close matches. You can see, if you're watching at home and, you play against Mardu Pyromancer at your local store, you can see how those could have gone either way. Those were all very close games. We just weren't able to get through all of those draws there at the end. But that was fun. Thanks for watching, everybody.